This is the finale of the data sources and information track. You've learned 5 rules for handling information: signal versus noise, go to the source, spot the pump, follow the incentive, and curate your diet. Knowing them isn't enough. The gauntlet is where you actually use them. Today the market throws all 5 traps at Rehan and Isha at once: a scary headline, a second-hand claim, a hyped stock, a biased pitch, and an overwhelming feed, and we watch the rules turn a chaotic firehose into a small, clear stream you can think in. Meet Rehan and Isha. They've both learned the same 5 rules, and today, as if on cue, the market decides to test every single one. In a single week they're hit by a headline screaming that markets are crashing, a forwarded message claiming a company doubled its profits, a group promising a guaranteed double on a tiny stock, a warm and likable advisor pushing one particular fund, and, underneath it all, an endless feed of 40 groups and hourly alerts. 5 situations, 5 rules. Let's watch them run the gauntlet. Here's the trap hiding in every one of these. Each situation is deliberately engineered to feel urgent or exciting: crashing markets, doubled profits, a stock about to fly. And when something feels that pressing, the untrained instinct is to act fast: sell on the scare, buy on the tip, ride the hot stock. Speed feels like diligence, but it isn't. Acting before checking is precisely how noise, echoes, pumps, conflicts, and overload win. So Rehan and Isha do the opposite of the rookie. Before doing anything, they slow down and run the rule. First, the headline and the tip. A headline screams that markets are crashing. Rehan applies Rule 1, signal versus noise, and asks the only question that matters: does this change my long-term plan? It doesn't, so he does nothing. Then a forwarded message claims a company just doubled its profits. Rehan applies Rule 2, go to the source, and instead of reacting, he opens the actual filing. There he finds the jump wasn't the business growing at all, it was a one-off gain from selling a building. 2 loud inputs, 2 rules, 2 traps quietly avoided, before a single rupee moved. Now Isha takes the next 2. A group hypes a tiny stock, a guaranteed double, but only if you buy right now. She applies Rule 3, spot the pump, and sees the 4 tells line up: a tiny company, sudden buzz, a promise of guaranteed gains, and manufactured urgency. That's a pump, so she simply walks away. Then a warm, likable advisor pushes one particular fund very hard. She applies Rule 4, follow the incentive, and asks what he gains, and learns he earns a fat commission on exactly that fund. So instead of trusting the pitch, she quietly checks a low-cost alternative. The friendlier the push, the more the incentive is worth checking. And the 5th situation is the quiet one underneath everything: the endless feed of 40 groups and hourly alerts. Rehan and Isha apply Rule 5, curate your diet. They keep a few trusted sources, on a schedule, and prune the rest. And notice why this rule powers the other 4. An investor drowning in an anxious, always-on feed doesn't have the calm or attention to spot a pump, question a charming pitch, or shrug off a scary headline. By curating a lean information diet, they create the mental space in which all the other rules can actually run. 5 separate rules, but one connected system. Run anything through them, in order, and watch how little survives. Your turn to run the first 2 rules. A scary headline says markets are crashing, and moments later a friend forwards a message: this company just doubled its profits. What's the disciplined move on each? Option A, sell on the headline and buy on the tip, acting fast on both. Option B, filter the headline with Rule 1, then verify the tip at the source with Rule 2. Or Option C, trust both, since surely they can't both be wrong. It's B. Rule 1 asks whether the headline changes your plan. It doesn't, so you ignore it. Rule 2 sends you to the primary filing, where the doubled profit turns out to be a one-off asset sale. 2 rules, 2 traps avoided, and you never had to guess. One more, and this time 3 traps at once. A hyped tiny stock, a warm advisor pushing one fund, and an overwhelming feed all land in the same week. Which rules apply? Option A, ride the hot stock, trust the nice advisor, and keep consuming everything. Option B, spot the pump with Rule 3, follow the incentive with Rule 4, and curate your diet with Rule 5. Or option C, just follow more groups so you never miss the next big one. It's B, of course. Tiny plus buzz plus guaranteed plus urgency is a pump, so you walk. The advisor earns a commission, so you check an alternative. And a leaner feed is exactly what gives you the calm to do both. The final rule quietly powers the other four. Here's the heart of the whole track, and it's simpler than 5 separate rules sound. They all share one underlying reflex: slow down and check before you act. Signal versus noise: does it change my plan? Go to the source: can I see it in the real filing? Spot the pump, follow the incentive, and curate your diet so you stay calm enough to do all of it. Run anything, a headline, a tip, a pitch, through those 5, in order, and watch how little survives. That reflex is what turns a chaotic firehose of information into a small, clear stream you can actually think in. Start free, with education and no junk to sell you, at app.investinsightspro.com. Your score is next.